What's up, everybody? This is Wos. This might seem kind of weird, but we have a season 3 of the PWC draft analysis. Just so everyone knows, you're probably curious. Season 2 had to get cut short. We had like 5 or 6 of the 12 people drop out. We found replacements for them, but we didn't want to have 5 or 6 people using teams that they didn't draft that they probably don't like, just because everyone's style is so much different. So just to make it fair, we're still going to playoffs doing it, and I'm obviously in the playoffs. Um, like I said, I'll be uploading those. Not sure when we'll get to them, but yeah, we'll have season. Actually, people aren't too bad. I know, especially one of my best friends is in this league now, and he is very good. He's a lot better than I am, which is saying a lot because I'm the best. All right, I don't know if you heard that. That was a wink. But yeah, I had the sixth pick in the draft, and once again, I was kind of just looking at, hey, make a lop, um, maybe a lottie or something. But as you can see already, we have a Manaphy here. Mega Lop was there, but I did not think Manaphy was also going to be there, and Manaphy is amazing. Uh, I've used it a little bit laddering, but in League, it's counter team building, and it's actually very good. It's base 100 stats all around. It can be a bulky water type, which is for some reason what most people love drafting. I don't see it, but like I said, great typing. Just pure water too, which is really nice. So it only has 2 weaknesses, which I have covered up. You'll see that later. Most people, you should know this by now if you know what a Manaphy is. It does one thing very well. It sets up with Calm Minds and Tailglows and just runs through teams, especially with hydration. I cannot talk. Hydration, you can bring up the rain and just nobody can toxic you, can burn you, paralyze. And at that point, if you run Rain Dance with uh, Tailglow, you're just going to run through teams, especially with late game. And surprisingly, I didn't realize this until I actually started looking at this. This thing has a lot of coverage moves. Ancient Power, Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, Psychic, really touchy. Shadow Ball, Signal. This thing can actually, without using the hidden powers, it hits every single type for super effective damage except for Steel and Normal. That's it. Every other type in the game, it hits for super effective damage, which is really nice. That just gives you a lot of options to, even though I don't have to set up, I can just run Expert Belt and run through teams. Like I said, with 100 base stats all around, it does give me room to kind of change things, run some funky shit. But hey, we'll see how it is. I really expect this thing to do very well this year. And I will try to remember to nicknames this year. I don't know what they're going to be yet, but I know a couple of them. But other than that, I will try to remember. If I don't, fuck you. The next month we had that, coming around second pick. Surprisingly, this mod was still there, and it always is for some reason in the drafts I have. But yeah, Excadrill. This thing is really nice. I love use. I used this thing when I league, and it had 15 kills, I think, in a span of like 5 weeks. This thing just late game just kind of runs through people, scarf you life orb. It's also one of the best spinners in the game, if not the best. I would say it's the best in my opinion, which is really nice and has a lot of, like I said, it's decently quick with 88, but the HP makes it surprisingly have a little bit of bulk in that 135 HP. Um, One thing I also really want to, sorry, you heard that squeak in my chair. The one thing I really wanted to have this year was a couple things. I should probably mention this before. With the draft, I really wanted Bolt Breaker, anything with Bolt Breaker. I was also looking at Haxorus for UU picks. Like I said, good. Should have said this before. Once again, um, the draft is 3 OU, UU, RU, and then NUP in one giant. Anything NU and below is all in one category. So you get 3 of each. I really wanted ability Mold Breaker. I also wanted something with Moxie. So run leveraging Moxie, and something I didn't realize I didn't have last season was an Intimidate user and also Will-O-Wisp user to kind of shut down those physical attackers. I always had Thunder Wave, but when it comes to physically attacking mons, I wanted something, but I never had it, which kind of sucked. So this thing has Mold Breaker, which just means if you run Scarf late game, you can just click Earthquake, especially if they don't have any sort of flying mons at that point. You can just start hitting things for ridiculous power. This nickname, actually no, this is Hans. I cannot type. Hans, he looks like a mole and reminds me of Hans Moleman. If you don't know who that is, you did not have a great childhood. I'm sorry. So, third round, you'll notice how I draft. I draft kind of weird. Most people at this point were also finishing up their OU picks. I was like, screw it. Right now, I just want something that I love using. I used it last year, and I fucking love this thing. It's Cresselia. This thing is bulky as shit with reliable recovery. It can status pretty much anything. It's so, you know what it does. It's going to sit there. It's going to Thunder Wave you. It's going to regen its health. It's going to dwindle you down. It can also surprisingly set up a little bit with Calm Minds and hit you. It's, in my opinion, better Renoclism with Levitate. So, hey, I have a weakness for ground. Fuck it. I got a Levitate user. This thing also has, surprisingly, Ice Beam, Moonblast. It has some decent coverage moves. Nothing really special or out of the ordinary. You can also run Rest Talk, which I don't know why you would, in my opinion. But this thing it hits okay. Yeah, so it's just, if you don't know what a Crest is going to do, then I don't know what to tell you. It's going to sit here. So right now, we don't really share many, we don't share any. Yeah, we don't share any weaknesses right now. With Manaphy, we do have an immunity to electric, and we also have an immunity to ground for the Escadrille, which is really nice. That's what I wanted to do. I want to have coverage as much as I can this year. So, and then the reason I draft like this is I always get two of the better in each tier, because at that point, I'm still going to get a good OU pick and a good UU pick if I draft two going to drop down next year, which is what I did. At this point, I was kind of looking, and I wanted something to check fairies again. I don't know why I have an extra draw, but I saw this mod. I loved using it before, and that's an Edo King. This thing with Sheer Force is just going to put in the work at this point. You Life Orb, Sheer Force it. This thing has ridiculous coverage moves too, being both physical and special. Dragon Pulse, Dragon Tail, you got the Ice Beams, you got Blizzards, you have EQs, you have Fire Stab, or not Stab, but you have Fire moves, you have, Mega Horn, Outrage, Poison Jab. You have a lot of different things. This thing can hit almost anything, and if you make it fast, if you Scarf it too at that point, this thing can come in late game and just kind of pick things off, move out into one of my walls, come back in, hit hard, get out. This is almost like this might be used as kind of like a guerrilla warfare kind of mod, where we're going to hit quickly, bounce out, you can't find us, come back in again, hit hard, get out, hit hard, get out. So that's what I want this thing to do. Not sure about this thing's nickname. What's wrong with the Crest? We'll figure it out. A couple of these mods I have used before, so I kind of have nicknames for them. Not all of them I do. I just love using Neo King. I love using Escadrille and Crest. So I did notice I do kind of have a ground weakness going. And I wanted something with flying. Last season too, I don't think I had flying either. Trying to think I don't think I did. If I did, I don't know. Something I didn't use very much. Maybe Molga. That was that league. Yeah. So I just want something late game, especially that won't, if they have more breaker like in Hex or something like that. I want something that can't be touched with it. So I wanted to get a flying mod at this point, and like I said, one of the abilities I wanted was Moxie, so I got Haunch Crow. I actually really like using this mod. It gives me Pursuit Trap ability, so it has Moxie. Also Super Luck, which hey, could take advantage of that, but it has Brave Bird. I can't talk. It has Pursuit, which I haven't run in the past, but just testing these teams out, I've really loved using Pursuit, especially late game. If I can Pursuit something and not let it switch out, get the Moxie boost if I'm like Life Orb or Extra Bell or something like that. This thing can come in late game. It's going to do the same. It's just going to do one thing. It's going to sit there. It's going to take out a lot of mons. At least I hope it does. But this thing also has surprisingly good special attack too, so I can also run a special set if I have to with Super Luck. Hey, maybe that'll happen. But this thing is just fabulous, but it's shiny. Look at it. Oh god, it's so beautiful. Alright, I'm fucking retarded. Then, once again, I want that 2 OU, 2 UU, and RU, so why not take another RU? This one, I really liked having, along with Haunch Crow. I want to Steensel. It has priority. It is also very fast at 115, I believe. 115 base speed. This thing can come in. It's just gonna, if I can trade off 1-for-1 with a threatening mon against my team, I'm okay with that. Thing's gonna hit hard. If they light board, probably sash a lot. Scarf maybe. This thing's just gonna come in. It has Stab Ice, Stab Dark, which is just amazing. It hits your knockoffs. It hits Ice Shards, Icicle Crashes, X Scissor if I needed to, stuff like that. So we'll see what I can actually do with this. Once again, another Pursuit mod, something I didn't have that against Psychic types is great to have. Which I don't have a Psychic weakness at all on my team, which is awesome. I don't have to worry about any sort of Lotties or Alakazams or anything like that. Yeah, but Sneasel, you know what this thing does. It's the mini Weavile. It's going to come and hit like a truck and then die, basically. Because it will not be able to eat up a hit. So yeah, the one thing I do like, 4 times weakness, I have Crest, I have Nidoking. That can kind of wall it. I also have a couple other mons later that can help wall it. So let's just move on. Now I'm going to go down to, what is this thing? I don't, this thing's apparently ending. So, sorry about that. I was listening to a baseball game. Someone hit I almost thought they hit a home run. Sorry about that. That's an awkward pause in there. Just don't worry about that. But I got a very familiar mon. That's not typing. With my last team, last season, that's Milking. I loved having this team because it was that Crest Milking core. Because once again, this is another Stealth Rock user. I have 3 now. At least I know of, yeah. I have 3. This thing's ability with Thick Fat could come in handy. Also, Sapsiper and Scrappy. All 3 great abilities for my team for reasons you'll see. But yeah, this thing's just going to come in. It's going to be physically defensive, most likely. A little bit of special SPDEF investment. It's just going to sit here, Milk Drink, Thunder Wave, Stealth Rock, get some damage off and stuff. I wanted to switch out then. This thing's just going to be that, like I did last year, lead, status some things, get some stuff dwindle down, and then let my main offensive ones come in late game and just start sweeping. It's Milk Tank. There's nothing I can really say special about it. It's just reliable, which is awesome. Oh, and this one, this is for you, Zazo. Yeah. I don't know why the hell you love this thing so much, you creepy fuck, but hey, you do. Alright, so I have 2 in each of the 4 tiers. At this point, the one thing I realized I didn't have was, like I said, that Will Whisper, which I really wanted this year. So I actually got a mon I actually really like using that I never get in these things. Okay, are you, no, oh, stupid. Hey, I'm getting Dusk Noir in case you're going to figure that one out. Wow, this is amazing. Just straight up professionalism right now. Okay, nobody make fun of my typing. Or I'm dyslexic, alright, assholes. That's why I can't fucking type. I have Dusk Noir. This thing, once again, it's a great wall. Yeah, they do share uh, dark and ghost weakness with Crest, but then I also have the Tank to be able to eat up any sort of ghost hit. Look, it's base 135's defense, special defense with 100 attack. The thing actually hits pretty hard, especially with things like Power Up Punch. I can run Destiny Bond if I have to custom Destiny Bond. Like I said, Power Up Punch. It has Shadow Punch. It has surprisingly some really good moves. Will is the main reason I do want to get it though. So any sort of physical attacker that I can burn, I just want that thing neutralized and not have to worry about it. Make it like a Mega Lopunny. You don't have to really worry about it at that point. Especially running something defensive, I don't think it can really. I mean, the one thing that is holding it back is that base 45 HP, which is god awful. What does that max out at? 290. That's not very good, but another reason I did kind of think is Frisk. Frisk is a great ability in League. You can send it out as a lead and see what that mon has. If you need to know if there's something, hey, I don't know if it's gonna be Specs, Scarf, Life Orb, XP Ball. I need to know for late game. This thing will tell you, which is amazing. I can't really see me ever running pressure, except for if I'm trying to PP stall someone now, which I fuck stall. All right, if you run stall, go fuck yourself. I was also looking at this, and another thing I wanted was an Intimidate user, once again for the physical attackers. And I needed a fairy type, so I got Grand Wolf. This thing, once again, Intimidate, you can run Bulky, you can run Bandit. It's just going to do what it has to do. It's going to, close combat. It has Crunch, it has Play Rough, Fire Fang. It has decent coverage moves. Especially with that Intimidate, it does help. It surprisingly has Outrage for some reason. I don't think it... If you run Outrage, you know what? I'm running Outrage at least 1 point this year. Probably not in this league, probably just on a fucking laddering spree when I'm bored. But yeah, it has really good coverage. Substitute if I have to want to sub up and just kind of wall things. This thing actually has really good coverage with Ice, Fire, is that Electric? Wow, awesome. I mean, I'll take it. Like, I didn't realize this thing. And this thing also just looks badass as shit. And you need to get a tan, my friend. God, what the fucking sun. So I did draft, like I said, I've had Exegil in the past. One thing I did like having at that point on my team was another Stealth Rock and Rapid Spinner. A very good one at that. it just takes the pressure. So if I do want to scarf it, I can. The fuck do you spell that? I don't know. I fucked up the spelling. Where are you? This is amazing. Yeah, Armaldo. I don't know why I couldn't think. I have it written down, but apparently I can't fucking spell either. It's another great, like I said, rapid spinner. This thing, it actually is with rock stab. It's rock, yeah, rock but rock stab. It does help out a lot, especially with flying mons. And one cool thing I didn't realize about this right away, I think of it at least, is Swift Swim. So I can run somewhat of a really shitty rain team, which wouldn't be nice. Hey, Swift Swim banned this thing, blood ban if you go in. But yeah, this thing is basically here as a backup spinner. That way, if I do want to scarf Excadrill, I don't have to worry about running rapid spin on it as well. I don't have to go in, get rid of rocks, and then get out because I can't really do anything at that point. That's why I don't always like Hans as a rapid spinner because of that reason. But yeah, this thing is here as backup if I want to run something else if I need. But nothing on my team except for the Honchkrow and the Sneasel and maybe the next one really take much damage. But yeah, as you see, my two lower tiers are all filled out. The reason why I did that is because I think about 5 picks in, everybody A had their Mega, and B all but I think 3 or 4 OU picks were taken. So at this point, I can hold off. I can see how my team develops. I can grab a Mega, who I knew I was going to take in the beginning, with my Manaphy. At least I was going to try to, and I can get something I like. It's not really a very, it's not used that often. My OU pick in league, but I want to try it out this year. I want to see if I can make it work. I think I can, and that's Halucha. This thing has great hyping with flying, fighting, but with Unburden and Mold Breaker, another Mold Breaker, I just want something that can set up physically. I don't really have the Manaphy. Extra Control can, but I want something a little. I love having fighting mons, and I didn't have one last year. And I saw this thing. It was either this or Terrakion, but I wanted this thing to give me once again another flying mon. Like I said, you can run acrobatics. This thing actually, I don't know, it doesn't get Brave Bird. I would have seen it right here where my fucking mouse is. Whoa, that was crazy. Like I said, Drain Punch. It has some moves. This will probably be my first week. Now looking at this team, I'll explain a little bit about my first week matchup. But yeah, this thing's just gonna come in. I want it to come in, hit hard. Maybe you turn out. Maybe run Bandit, Life Orb, something like that. Sword Stance. But yeah, I wanted something with flying ability again. If I really wanted that fighting, and the only two things left, because I love UU, especially in Job. You have so many good mons. That's how you make your team, is in UU. You get the powerhouses in OU. You fill it out in UU with very good mons that support your OU picks. And then RU and NU, they're kind of the role players. They'll come in and do one thing specifically and do them well, though. That's how I kind of look at it. So my last pick then, like I said, I was looking at Manaphy. Damn it. It has 2 weaknesses, being lightning, like electric and grass. So I picked up a Mega with an immunity to 1 and quad resistant of it. That's this thing. This thing is fast as hell. Hits so specially hard. With a attack that's actually not bad. But yeah, this thing's just gonna come in. I want this thing. I love having this thing with Manaphy, because if you're gonna run Thunderbolt or something like that, especially with the choice mod, now you have to think: is he going to switch out into Subtile, get up a free +1 on special attack, and then outspeed most things unless they're scarfed? Or do I play it safe, not go for it? Now I know he does have a quad weakness to ice, but like I said, I have Manaphy there, I have Crest to take it, and Milk Tank with Thick Fat can probably eat that up so much, which is why I really wanted Milk Tank as well, once I realized how my thing was going to work out. Like I said, I really like the same combination of walls with bulky offense and very fast offense with this thing, the Sneasel, Scarf Excadrill, Scarf Nidoking. The reason I also love this team, all these mons except for like 2 or 3 of them, have a possibility to come in and do a lot of work against teams. So it's going to be, at least in my opinion, it's going to be hard to figure out who I'm going to bring and what I'm going to bring each week, which is why I love it. It's very unpredictable, like the way I've run some crazy shit. They all know that in this league. So it's one of those things where if I can keep them on their toes, I don't want them guessing. I want them to not feel safe at all times. But yeah, that's how this team worked out. I actually really like this team. The first team we play, though, is, God, it's a fucking Saul team, which sucks. I hate Saul. not complete stall, but it has, I think, Blissey, Mega Sableye, Fortress. It has a lot of very, very Pokemon with the Talonflame. And it's going to be kind of tough. I'm going to have to figure out a way to break down the core of Blissey and Mega Sableye, but it's going to be interesting. I think I can do it, though, with this team. So, yeah, I'll see you at either week 1 matchup or playoffs at some point. Like I said, I'm not sure when they're going to be up, but they will be up, trust me. So,